Now, in Bloom's taxonomy, in Bloom's taxonomy, in Bloom's taxonomy of learning objectives, which of the following categories come under affective domain? So it is A, B, and D. Receiving, responding, organization, not application, analysis and application. They're not under the affective domain. Receiving, responding, organizing, valuing, characterizing. Bloom's taxonomy, hierarchical order of cognitive, affective, and psychomotor domains. Cognitive domain. In this domain, a child deals with knowledge and hence learns to create, evaluate, analyze, apply, and understand, remember. So, in the cognitive domain, it has learns to create, evaluate, analyze, apply, understand, and remember. In the affective domain, the factors, it deals with the emotional areas, right? Uh, so receiving, responding, valuing, organizing, and characterizing. Just like I said, valuing and characterizing are also part of the affective domain. The psychomotor domain has nothing but manual and physical skills. It deals with physical coordination, movements, motor skills. It includes imitation, manipulation, precision, articulation, and naturalization. Imitation, manipulation, precision, articulation, and naturalization come under the psychomotor domain. Bloom's taxonomy is a framework for categorizing educational goals, objectives, and outcomes based on different levels of thinking and learning. It was developed by Benjamin Bloom. He was an educational psychologist. In the 1950s, revised by a group of educators in 1990s, the taxonomy consists of 6 hierarchical levels organized in 3 domains: cognitive, affective, and psychomotor domain. Cognitive domain refers to the mental skills, the affective domain refers to the emotional and attitudinal aspects of learning, and the psychomotor domain refers to the physical skills. Now, the channels of Swayamprabha are uploaded from Bizak, Hyderabad. False. Swayamprabha is an educational learning platform available 24/7 through 37 DTH channels. Also false, 34 DTH channels it has. And it is uploaded from Bisag, Gujarat. Content is provided by NPTEL. The InflibNet Center maintains the web portal. InflibNet. Information and something. Which of the following are intellectual characteristics of adolescents? So, intellectual characteristics of adolescents B, C, and E. Development of imagination under the intellectual characteristics. Increase in span of attention and development of thinking and reasoning, not increase in pulse rate and variations in emotional moods. So, development of imagination, span of attention, and development of thinking and reasoning. The learner learns to bake a cake in school. He or she applies the knowledge to bake the cake at home. It is a type of what type of learning? So, that's horizontal transfer. Now, horizontal transfer of learning occurs when a learner applies previously learned knowledge or skills to a new but similar situation. So, here in this case, he used the knowledge which he had from baking cake at home knowledge to bake the cake at home. This knowledge was used to bake the cake in school. This is hence horizontal transfer. In this case, the learner has learned how to bake cake in school and is able to apply that knowledge to bake cake at home. The context of baking a cake is similar, and therefore the learner is able to transfer the knowledge from one context to another. Vertical transfer of learning. It occurs when a learner applies previously learned knowledge or skills to a more complex or advanced task. That's the vertical transfer of learning. When the learner applies previously learned knowledge to a more complex or advanced task is vertical transfer. Now, zero transfer. It occurs when no transfer of learning takes place. This can occur when the new situation is vastly different from the previous situation, or when the learner has not been able to make connections between the two situations. For example, a student who has learned how to ride a bike may not be able to apply that knowledge to learning how to swim. That's zero transfer. And negative transfer is when it occurs when previously learned knowledge or skills hinder the learner's ability to perform a new task. For example, a baseball player who is used to hitting a ball with a wooden bat may have difficulty adjusting to hitting a ball with an aluminium bat due to increase in weight and swing mechanics. In this case, the previously learned knowledge and skills may actually interfere with the learner's ability to perform the new task. And another example of negative transfer can be interference in language learning. This is a term, interference. When someone already has the knowledge of his first language, he then has problems learning the second language like a native speaker. And then you have a teacher so the next question, a teacher can enjoy teaching as a profession when he or she seeks respect from the students. So while it is important for a teacher to earn respect from other students, seeking respect as a sole reason for enjoying teaching as a profession may not be the most suitable, most sustainable or effective approach. I think the question is not clear. So ensures strict discipline in class, has better qualification than his or her colleagues, or is close to the principal or vice chancellor. Not sure. So seeking respect from the students can be a positive motivator for a teacher, but if that is the only reason they enjoy teaching, they may struggle to maintain their motivation and enthusiasm in the face of difficulty or the challenged students. Additionally, if a teacher's focus is solely on earning respect, they may prioritize disciplinary measures over fostering a positive and supportive learning environment, which can negatively impact students' learning and enjoyment of the classroom experience. A passion for teaching, a positive work environment, and a focus on supporting student learning are all important contributors to teacher job satisfaction. Positive work environment, focus on supporting student learning. So, in summary, while earning respect from students is important for teachers, it should not be the sole reason for enjoying teaching as a profession. Additional information: teaching can be an enjoyable profession when a teacher has a passion for their subject, enjoys interacting with students, and experiences a sense of fulfillment from helping students learning to grow. When a teacher feels like they are making a positive impact on their students' lives, it can be a source of satisfaction and motivation. Additionally, a positive work environment with supportive colleagues and administrators, opportunities for professional development and growth, and a reasonable workload can also contribute to a teacher's enjoyment of their profession. Now, the next sets of principles that describe and predict events are known as sets of principles which describe and predict events. They are known as theories. Theories are explanations or models of how and why phenomena operate, and they are used to describe, predict, and understand events in the world. A hypothesis is an assumption or an idea that is proposed as the basis of research, but it has not yet been proven or tested. A concept refers to a general idea or a notion that represents a group of related phenomena or events. An analysis involves breaking down complex ideas or concepts into simpler parts to gain a better understanding of them. Theories can be developed through observation, experimentation, and logical reasoning. They are used in various fields. Theories are important because they provide a framework for understanding complex phenomena and they help to organize knowledge and guide future research. Hence, sets of principles that describe and predict events are known as theories. The next, interpretation of findings is a collaborative activity of both participants and researchers in applied research. Now, applied research. In applied research, the interpretation of findings is a collaborative activity of both participants and the researcher. The researcher analyzes the data collected and presents the results, while the participants interpret the findings based on their experiences and insights. This collaboration helps to ensure that the research findings are relevant and meaningful to the people who are affected by the research. Hence, interpretation of findings is a collaborative activity of both participants and research in applied research. Now, additional information: in case studies, the interpretation of findings is typically done by the researcher, and the participants may be consulted for feedback or verification. Textual analysis involves the analysis of written or visual material, and the interpretation of findings is usually done by the researcher alone. Phenomenology is a philosophical approach that focuses on subjective experiences and perceptions and the interrelation of I don't know what. So, it is a philosophical approach that focuses on subjective experiences and perceptions, and the interpretation of findings is typically done by the researcher. The next, the ethnographic research is mostly conducted in natural environment. Ethnographic research is a qualitative research method that involves studying people in their natural environment. The researcher observes and interacts with participants in their everyday setting to gain insights into their culture, behavior, and beliefs. This approach allows for deeper understanding of the participants' experiences and perspectives. Simulated environment is incorrect because the purpose of ethnographic research is to study people in their natural environment, not a controlled or artificial setting. Virtual environment only is incorrect because although virtual ethnography is a growing field, it is still a relatively new and less common approach. Virtual ethnography involves studying people in online communities or virtual worlds, but it cannot replace insights gained from observing people in their physical environment. Artificial environment is incorrect because it does not reflect the natural setting of the participants and may not provide accurate insights into their culture and behavior. Next, which of the following are the characteristics of ratio level data? So that's C, D, and E. Equal spacing, increasing or decreasing order, and absolute 0 point. Ratio level data. Now, ratio level data is a type of measurement scale where data is measured on a scale that has a 0 true point. Ratio A is to B. This has the 0 data point, true 0 point. Characteristics of ratio level data. This means that the absence of attribute being measured is represented by value 0. For example, the weight of an object measured in grams is a ratio level measurement because 0 grams means no weight. Equal spacing. Now, characteristics of ratio level data. Equal spacing. It means that the differences between two adjacent values is the same throughout the scale. Increasing or decreasing order. It means that the values on a scale can be ranked in order from lowest to the highest and vice versa. An absolute 0 point. So that's about the ratio scale. If we talk about, so there are three others: interval scale, ordinal scale, and I guess nominal scale. Nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio, right? Interval scale has has zero, but it's not a 0 point data. True, it's not a true zero, like 0 degrees Celsius. Nominal scale is like a list of things, and ordinal scale is like ranking things. Now, the next question: operational definitions are used to get the meaning of abstract concepts. That's correct. And second, operational definitions do not define how a variable is measured. That is incorrect. Operational definitions are used to define abstract concepts in a way that can be measured or observed. They are used to give meaning to abstract concepts which may have different interpretations depending on the context in which they are used. By providing a clear and precise definition of a concept, researchers can ensure that their findings are reliable and valid. For example, if we want to study the concept of happiness, we need to define it in a way that can be measured, such as by asking people to rate their level of happiness on a scale from 0 to 1. Hence, that's correct. That the operational definitions are used to get meaning of abstract concepts. The operational definitions. Now, the second, operational definitions do not define how a variable is measured. That's incorrect. Operational definitions do define how a variable is measured. In fact, that is their primary function. The operational functions, the primary function of operational definitions is to define how a variable is measured. An operational definition specifies the procedures or operations used to measure a variable, such as the specific questions asked in a survey or the physical measurements taken in a laboratory experiment. Without an operational definition, it is impossible to measure a variable consistently or accurately. Now, the first media age was related to broadcast media. First media age is related to the advent of broadcast media, which includes radio and television. This era was marked by the widespread dissemination of information and entertainment through electronic media. Radio was the first widely used broadcast medium, which made it possible for people to listen to news, music, and other programs from around the world. Later, television emerged as a dominant medium which allowed people to watch news, movies, and other programs in addition to listening to them. This era also marked the beginning of mass media and mass communication, as people were able to consume information and entertainment on a large scale for the first time in history. Hence, the first media age was related to broadcast media. Next question. Modern communication technology like the internet has resulted in personalized media culture. Modern communication technologies like internet have given rise to personalized media culture, where individuals can access and customize the media content according to their preferences and interests. The internet provides a platform for user-generated content, which has transformed traditional media landscape. With the advent of social media platforms, individuals can create and share their own content with a global audience, thereby challenging the traditional media gatekeepers. Next, the Laswanian model of mass communication is the foundation of media. This is explained by the effects theory. Laswanian model. Effects theory. Laswellian model of mass communication, developed by communication theorist Harold Laswell, is concerned with the effect of mass communication on individuals and society as a whole. The model is often referred to as the who says what to whom in what channel to what effect model, which suggests that communication involves 5 key elements: the sender, who, the message, what, the audience, whom, the medium channel, and the effect, impact. So, who says what, to whom, in what channel, to what effect? Who says what, to whom, in what channel, to what effect? So, what, who, what, whom, the audience, in what channel, and to what effect, the impact. So, five things. First, who. Second thing, what, to whom. The third. Fourth, the channel. And fifth, the effect. So, the five key elements: who says what, to whom, in what channel, to what effect. Now, the Shannon and Weaver's communication model was not focused on B, C, and D. It wasn't focused on contents of the message, it wasn't focused on meanings of messages, and it wasn't even focused on intention behind the messages. The Shannon Weaver model was rather focused on message transmission and medium of transmission. Shannon Weaver's communication model. Shannon Weaver's communication model is a widely used mathematical model of communication developed in 1949 by Claude Shannon and Warren Weaver. It is primarily focused on technical aspects of communication and is widely used in engineering and computer science. The model consists of five basic elements: the sender, message, channel, receiver, noise. The model assumes that communication is a linear process, that it starts with the sender, who encodes a message and transmits it through a channel to the receiver, who decodes the message. The channel refers to the medium used to transmit the message, such as airwaves, cable, or satellites. Noise refers to any interference or distortion that may occur during transmission, which can impact the quality of the message received by the receiver. However, the Shannon and Weaver's communication model does not focus on contents or meanings of messages, the intention behind the messages, or the medium of transmission. It only emphasizes the technical aspects of communication, such as message transmission and the role of noise in the communication process. So, Shannon-Weaver model talks only about the message transmission and the medium of transmission. It has five basic elements: sender, message, channel, receiver, and noise. So one could also say that the concept of noise was introduced in the Shannon-Weaver model. Right? And the next is, according to Derrida, Jacques Derrida. According to Derrida, the effects of communication are subordinate to the effects of writing. That's true. Effects of communication are subordinate to the effects of writing. The second statement, Derrida categorizes the effects of language as polysemia and dissemination. So Derrida categorizes the effects of language as polysemia and dissemination. That is also correct. Polysemia and dissemination. These are the effects of language: polysemia and dissemination. And according to Derrida, effects of communication are subordinate to the effects of writing. According to Derrida, refers to the philosophy of Jacques Derrida, who believed that writing plays an important fundamental role in shaping language and communication than speech or oral communication. Derrida argues that writing is the foundation of all communication and that it provides the structure that enables meaning to be conveyed. In this sense, the effects of communication, such as the emotions and intentions of the speaker, are seen as being subordinate to the effects of writing, which provide the framework for the communication to occur. Now, the second statement, Derrida categorizes the effects of language as polysemia and dissemination. This refers to the Derrida's theory of language, which is based on the idea that language is inherently unstable and that it produces multiple meanings that are constantly changing and evolving. Derrida used the term polysemia to describe the way the words and concepts have multiple meanings that can be interpreted in different ways by different people. He also used the term dissemination to describe the process by which meaning is created and circulated through language, often through the act of writing. According to Derrida, language is never fixed or final, but is always in state of flux, constantly creating new meanings and possibilities. Now, a man is facing southwards. He turns right and walks 25 meters. He is facing southwards, turns right. If he is facing southwards, then his right hand is here. So he turns to right and walks 25 meters, or let's say 25 meters over here. And again turns right and walks 15 meters. So this is where, so 15 meters, right? Now he turns to the left and walks 15 meters. He turns to the left. He is here. I'm sorry. This is where he was, right? He was facing southwards in the first place. Then he turned right. This is where the right is. And he walked 25 meters, right? 25 meters. Here is he. And again turns right and walks 15 meters. So if he is here, then this is his right. Walks 15 meters to the right. Now he turns left. Here walked here, so this is his right. Now turns left and walks 15 meters over here, and then again turns right and walks 25 meters, turns right again and walks 70 meters. This is his right, walks 70 meters. In which direction is the man now from the starting point? So this was his starting point. He's in the north direction. Northeast, rather. Northeast. So man is facing southwards. Let's do that in the next.